Well, hello there, it is FrOzenSwipe, and I've got a very important discovery for me to share with you guys today. And this is something I don't think anyone else has put out there yet, so I think I'm maybe one of the first people to have discovered this. But I was watching a video of Drifters where he was testing how the KSG shotgun is inaccurate after you crouch and prone. And I went to Nuketown here and I replicated his experiments with the KSG shotgun to find that, of course, it was true. And then I decided to try out some of the other weapons. And while I haven't tested out every single weapon in the game, I did test a good variety of weapons covering all of the different weapon classes. And what I found is that it pretty much affects every single weapon in the game apart from the ballistic knife. The ballistic knife was the only weapon that I tested where it didn't work. Apart from that, all of the other weapons were affected by this. Including even the launchers. The launchers were much harder to test. I did feel that the rockets were going off their initial trajectory. They weren't going exactly where I was aiming them. I'm not entirely sold on the launchers because they're really hard to test, and I do know that they can be inconsistent at times, but I'm going to say that it most likely affects them as well. But you're going to see me use a huge variety of weapons here during this video, and it pretty definitively shows that this affects the other guns as well as the KSG. And this is a pretty big discovery. I'm just going to sum up exactly what happens. There is about half a second after you crouch where if you shoot, even if you're aiming down sight, there is a random spread, i.e. your bullets aren't going to go where you're shooting. And this lasts for about 0.4 of a second or 0.8 of a second, depending on whether or not my theory is correct. As I was testing this, I noticed that when you crouch, your hipfire crosshairs increase before they go back to normal size. This seems to last for about 0.4 seconds before it resets to normal size when you go from standing to crouching, and it seems to last for about 0.8 seconds when going from crouching to proning. It may not sound like a lot, but you can fire off a few bullets in that time and they're not going to go necessarily where you're aiming, and you're going to miss shots that you should have hit, and that's going to result in you losing gunfights. This seems to affect all of the different weapons, as I said, especially the sniper rifles. The sniper rifles seem to be the worst affected because they have such a wide hipfire spread, but this also greatly affects the LMGs and the assault rifles. The SMGs are still affected, but because the SMGs have a smaller hipfire spread, they're not affected as badly. This also affects the shotguns, the ones that fire 8 pellets. You're going to see that the spread is going to be much larger after you crouch than when just normally shooting when aiming down sights. If you crouch and then shoot, even if you're aiming down sights, you're not going to get the tighter spread that you would get from aiming down sights. This is something that Treyarch have seemed to purposely put in the game, and the only reason I can think that Treyarch would put this in the game is to counter drop shotting. Now, of course, drop shotting is annoying and everything, but I think they've gone about it completely the wrong way. I mean, the fact that this affects sniper rifles in particular is ridiculous. I mean, so many times I have been aiming right at a guy, and I've shot, and even the trail of the bullet looked like it didn't even go anywhere near where I shot. And so many times I've just kind of put it down to lag or latency or hit detection or whatever. But now that I know that this mechanic is in the game, it kind of pisses me off. The only real advice I can give you is that the laser sight should, in theory, assuming my theory is correct and that has to do with this hipfire spread, it should tighten up the spread somewhat. There's still going to be that random spread, but it shouldn't be as severe. But it's still not going to make that much of a difference. I mean, the biggest thing that you can do is to be consciously aware that this mechanic is in the game, and that if you crouch or prone while you're shooting, your bullets aren't going to go where you're aiming. So you need to be aware of that and just make a conscious effort to not crouch or prone while shooting. I don't generally tend to look for like or favorites, but the fact that I haven't seen any other videos outlining this inaccuracy problem really does show that not a lot of people know about this. So if you were to give me a like or favorite, or if you were to share this video, that would be awesome. I want as many people to know about this. If you could even bring it to the attention of other commentators so that they can make videos about this as well, and they can inform their subscribers and everything, and we can really get that message out there, that would be great. And hopefully, if we all band together, we can get Treyarch to remove this, because quite frankly, I don't feel it's the right way to go about nerfing drop shotting. While drop shotting can be cheap, they've gone about nerfing it in entirely the wrong way. they should definitely take this off for the sniper rifles and the LMGs and the assault rifles. I could maybe see them keeping it on for the submachine guns because it doesn't affect them as badly, but they need to take it away for the sniper rifles, the light machine guns and the assault rifles because it is pretty ridiculous on those guns. But anyway, this has been FrOzenSwipe. I really hope you've enjoyed. Again, a like or a favorite would be greatly appreciated. I really want to get this video out there. I'll try and bring this to the attention of other commentators as well. If you could do the same, that would be awesome. And tell your friends about this. Make sure this message gets out there and that people are aware of it. But this has been FrOzenSwipe. I really do hope you've enjoyed, and I hope that you've learned something here today. And thank you very much for watching.